Good afternoon, good morning, people. This is the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show, and we have an exciting guest today. We're going to talk about some real stuff. You're going to hear that word real so many times in this show, but I just want to make sure you guys are tuned in. So, again, this is the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show where we talk about real life real estate situations, but we bring you real life real estate solutions. And I couldn't have any other person on this show today, other than the person that's going to be here to talk about some real stuff. And the person that's going to be with us today is none other than the real deal herself, Miss Angela Davenport. And we're going to bring her right in. But I want to do just a real quick overview or a quick bio of the things that she's done and things that she's got going on. But you know what? Instead of me doing that, because I know she's the real deal, I want to make sure she comes on and talks about those things herself, so I don't steal away any of the thunder that she has. So we're gonna bring her right in, and there we are. How are you today, ma'am?
Hi, Glenn. I'm doing great. How are you today?
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm excited to have you on the show today. We did this a long time ago, and I said, you know what? I gotta have her come back on because I know you've been making some major, major moves. And one thing they told me when I was growing up in we'll call it the neighborhood, but it was the hood. They said they told me they use the words real gangsters move in silence. So I know you've been making some major moves in silence, and you haven't really. You've given some feelers, because I'm watching and I pay attention to the people that's doing things, and you give us some feelers. But I wanted to bring you on and give you an opportunity to share with us some of the major things that you have going on and how those of us, including me, that are in the business of real estate, as wholesalers, real estate investors, agents, whomever, can benefit from some of the things that you have going on. So give the folks a little bit of an idea of who you are, first of all, and then we'll get right into it.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me, Glenn. It has been a long time. We
Yes,
had a lot of fun. It was a lot different feel when you're in person, but
definitely, definitely.
hopefully we'll be able to translate. With this Zoom meeting. I like meeting people one on one. I like meeting people face to face.
Yes,
Um,
indeed.
so the Zoom meetings have been a little different for me, but yeah, I'm Angela Davenport. The name of my company is The Real Deal. Kind of came about because I'm a little blunt. Uh, I'll tell it like it is, but also just because I really have done kind of all aspects of investing, because I initially was an investor, just to park some money that I made with some other businesses. And my father-in-law just happened to be a builder. And so, just naturally we were investing in real estate, buying houses and rehab and flip. And so I learned construction and stuff from him. After doing that for a while, you end up with properties. You come across properties that you're looking for to rehab and flip yourself. And it turns out, well, you don't necessarily want to do it, but someone else does. That's going to parlay into wholesaling. After the crash in like '08, my ex and I split, and I didn't do real estate at all for several years. And so then when I did come back into real estate, I got my license and just thought, well, I'll use my education and what I've learned by being an investor and builder to help other people and just be an agent. But then immediately upon getting licensed, I was working with investors and looking for investment properties for myself, because that's just my lane. That's what makes my heart pump, and that's the kind of deals I'm going to do. So I think it an advantage coming in as being an agent with all those years of investing experience. However, once I got licensed, I found out that most agents didn't work the way that I do.
Mhm.
Most agents have this this pattern and this certain mode of operation that agents do to get business, and that was just the opposite of what I had learned in the street and in the field working for myself. So I'm kind of like the anti-agent, if you will, the unbroker. I mean, it just I don't know. I like being licensed, and I like having that, the credentials, and to know that you're working with people who have at least tried, to get an education. Because there's a lot of craziness out there. There's a lot of good wholesalers, but there's also a lot of craziness. So
Mhm.
I really feel like I have advantage for being a licensed agent as well. But I feel like my wholesale experience makes me a lot stronger. And so that's what we're doing now is a lot more agent stuff. I had wholesaled for years, but you end up working with other wholesalers and other agents and doing properties off market. So that's why we opened the brokerage, was just because I never fit in anywhere. All the brokerages I was at, I was paying fees to be there, but really that was just to be licensed. And then I still had to pay all these fees to go get Deal Machine and Skip Trace and buy lists and stuff. So it was like I got no support at my brokerage. And so I was like, well, there's got to be other people. And there's plenty of, I know there's a lot of agents that are out there that are either brokers themselves or, that do wholesale. There's several of us. But I just didn't feel like there was any place for me and for my team. And, I want to make money. I'm fast. Like, I'm very aggressive when I want to make money and I don't want anybody getting in my way. So if I'm at a brokerage where I feel like it's a detriment to me because they do not understand the way I'm making moves, I got to go somewhere where they understand, the way I'm making moves. And there's other people out there like me that need a broker like me that understands that. But I'm not a broker. I'm not a brokerage like ours. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And it's amazing that you said that because, it's so true that in the world that we've been in for, we'll call it this year, but in the world of real estate investing, we know some things have been going on for quite a few years. And there are so many people that are coming into the business of real estate investing. And some people, even as agents, who are clearly clueless on what we do, how we do business as wholesalers and investors and things like that. And they do need that person, such as yourself, that can help them navigate through how we'll call it real life real estate is done.
Exactly.
So that's definitely great. So a new brokerage. So you've opened a new brokerage?
Yes. Well, I partnered with my broker. I was fortunate enough to land at a brokerage where the guy really understood, what off market meant. He understood what the upcoming market and off market is going to mean, because let's face it, in the next coming months and years, we're going to have a lot of sellers and owners that are needing to sell that cannot go the traditional route that we use as agents. They will not have time to, get the house list ready. They didn't have the money to list the house, get the house list ready, or they wouldn't be in forbearance. So if someone can't pay their payment and they can't get the house list ready, and then they're going to list it, it would take, X number of days, depending on their market, days on market. Plus then that transaction going through selling, contracting, God forbid, one falls apart, they'll lose their house prior to being able to make it through that process. So the traditional ways, it's not at my doing, but the traditional ways of doing business in real estate are kind of fallen to the wayside. And COVID now has added to that. People don't want you in their house. People don't want multiple people and showings coming into their house. They would rather use technology where we take photos or videos and then we show their house, that way. Post COVID-19 is a different market. And so that being said, your broker and you as a real estate professional better be prepared for the post-COVID challenges, or I think the obstacles are then, of course, opportunities. And so those obstacles that we have are going to be great opportunities for all of us if you play it.
So why become a broker in the middle of a pandemic?
Yeah. Why not in the middle of a pandemic? Because that's the point. Because everything changed, right? COVID, all of a sudden, landlords that were renting and they just thought that this was life as we know it, completely changed. We had the rug pulled out from under us. So what better time to completely restructure from the ground up? Because all of us were retooling. You ask any wholesaler agent out there, you're sitting at home, you got this time off, you can't be out in the streets, and we're retooling, right? We're thinking, okay, so how do I sharpen my game? And then as you hear more news and see things and, educate yourself about what's going on with COVID, what's going on with our market, what better time? Because now is the time. Now is the time that, post-COVID, we need to be able to do business remotely. We're working on getting our brokerage set up to where we have like templates and things that sellers can contact us and tell us if they're interested in getting an offer. And then we can tell them, what photos to take and videos to take with their smartphone and upload that into our template. And we can get them offers without ever having to come into the house, so that if and when COVID, the next COVID, or continued COVID, poses challenges to being able to get in someone's house, but they do have a need to sell. Because let's face it, just because we have a pandemic, people still have to live in their house and people still have to move for jobs. So, we're trying to adjust and adapt to that and be able to do business regardless. If, there's a pandemic and we're all on shutdown and stay in shelter, we can still do business, our agents. So we're working on that. And that's kind of exciting for me because I'm kind of an old dog. I used to write down, and we looked at properties and wrote down the address in our piece of paper, and we would then go to the courthouse and research who owned it.
Wow.
So this is thinking that I can just tell someone can call me from a lead that I did from a computer generated lead or something, and them upload their photos and videos, and I can do the numbers and make them an offer. It's quite exciting, actually.
Great stuff. Great stuff. And that's you're giving a little bit away of trade secrets, but it's all good.
I'm not worried because I can compete. That's let everybody know what's going on out here, and I can compete.
Definitely. Yeah. And that that's what again, I want to emphasize, that's what makes you the real deal, in what you do, because what the way you look at things, and we've known each other for some time now. I know that competition is not something that is at the forefront of your mind, right? Because you're gonna do what you do anyway. That's absolutely amazing, especially in what's going on right now. There should be, in my opinion, so much more collaboration going on in the midst of what's happening now, because when you're talking about sharpening your tools, that situation of us collaborating and doing things together is what makes all of us better. Especially on the other side of this whole situation, we all come out much stronger and much better than we did before this all came about.
That's right. It's cathartic, but yeah, through trials we grow. So absolutely. No one wanted to change the way we did business at the beginning of 2020. We were cooking right along, and we thought we were, we were doing good. We thought it was going to be a good year. Yes. And so no one would have just wished this or wanted this. And and I've had deaths in my family. This is a terrible, terrible thing. So don't get me wrong. I don't think anyone would have wished this. The benefits that we got were just because of our strength and determination and the way we bounce back as Americans. Let me tell you,
definitely
be okay. But this is a bumpy road for a while, and that's the point. I'll say something, because I don't know what's going to happen. I think I have studied, and I've been through things similar to this before. We have never been through anything like this before. So right. I'm not going to sit here and say I know what's about to happen in the market, because I do not. And anyone else that tells you that is full of shit, Glenn.
Definitely. Go ahead.
We haven't been here before. Sorry, did you have to bleep that? So, yeah, we haven't been here before. But what I do know is I have been in similar situations, and what we do know is this. We do know that given the situation in the economy, we have a lot of nervous people and a lot of nervous homeowners and people that are going to be potential sellers in forbearance right now. So we don't know if the government is going to decide to let those people have forbearance for a lot longer, or if they're going to continue to have a moratorium in certain places on eviction. So, no one is a soothsayer here. But what I think is going to happen, based on my experience in the market, is we are going to have a lot of people that are going to be calling us, and they're going to be in a panic and needing to sell their property, but very scared to trust anyone, very scared of, they're worried about what options they might have, because it's going to be a lot different than maybe what they have ever thought. Or, no one ever thought they were going to find themselves in this position. So you're going to have some real antsy sellers, and not everybody's going to deal with them. Not everybody has experience to deal with them. Not everybody knows exit strategies to help them. And so, like what you mentioned ago about collaboration, that's what our team, we don't want to have everyone in Atlanta on our team. We just want to have the right ones on our team.
Absolutely.
Our team is a team of hustlers. And so if you're not willing to get out here and hustle, you probably don't want to be on our team, because we will run you over.
Definitely.
I'm going to tell you, the Office of Broker is not the place for you. If you're just going somewhere where you're going to pay fees, no. But if you're willing to get out there in the streets and hustle and learn from the people that are on our team that do know and have experience and can guide, then yeah, we've got a fantastic team. And it's a small team, but boy, it's mighty. And we are doing some great things. We got over 100 multis for sale right now.
Wow.
And I can't keep single family residences. I hardly ever post or say anything about them because I do have one or two really preferred buyers that, um, one, I mean, I'm going to name him because if y'all got deals, you need to send them to him. Rafa, when this first thing, when the COVID first came out, we were about to close on a property, and everybody panics and pulls the rug out from under you and is going to try to price negotiate and get it. And you know what? He showed up and closed just like we always do. And so I'm not going to lie, he's on speed dial. When I get a deal and it's within his criteria and in his area, I'm calling Rafa first because he makes life for me. So I suggest that people out there, it doesn't have to be our team, my brokerage, or wholesale with me or my investors, but I suggest you find the Rafas that are out there and the guys that are out here doing good business and the guys that are out here doing business day in and day out.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another. He's one of our he's our brokerage. So and Robert doesn't even have time to tell you everything he's doing because he's too busy doing it.
Right.
But let me promise you, he's turning some houses. So that's the thing. We want real players and people who are really, really serious about getting out in the street and is going to really JV with us. That's what we're looking for as partners, not people to just sit and take up a seat and take up room. And the collaboration we've got going on, it's just a beautiful thing. And we want more people. We want to collaborate with more people because we got some big things coming.
Great stuff. Great stuff. So so you mentioned doing some off market residential and commercial. Is that right? Or residential or multifamily type things. For somebody that's watching that may be interested in learning how to maybe partner with you on some of that. And first of all, what is the expectation on someone that will be looking to partner with you, first of all? Because I know, like you said, you don't want anybody getting in your way. For somebody that may be looking to collaborate with you on some things, what would be a criteria that you would have for them, and how would they communicate that to you?
Okay. Well, it would depend on if they're wanting to, say, join our team. If they want to join our team, I want them to get licensed, and I'm going to have a conversation with them about that because we will work with wholesalers, and it's okay. We have a wholesaler or two on our team now that's not licensed, but I'm advocating for them to get licensed every day. And so, that's just because I'm an agent and because of the whole exit strategies and the multiple strategies. Basically my strategy and the way that I approach appointments. And so the way I'm going to teach people to go and do appointments is a multiple strategy. And it's based on being licensed and unlicensed. Like, we can sell your house off market like this and net you this much money, or we can help you list it and sell it like this and net you this much money. And we just help the seller decide which option is best. And the reason I teach that is because it's not a yes or no question. You're not going and saying, do you want to take blank amount of money for your house wholesale, and they view it that like you're lowballing them, and that if they list it, they'd get a bunch more, right? And you're also not going as an agent saying, how about, do you want to just list your house for X amount of dollars, yes or no? Both of those are yes or no questions, and I don't like yes or no questions. I want to have a conversation, because then it's not a conversion. It's not can I list your house or can I buy your house for percentage of what it's worth? It's, I'm going to help you sell your house. How do we want to do that? And so we have a conversation how to do that. So I like my appointments to be conversations and how we're going to get their house sold, not a sales pitch. And so it's just a whole different approach. And so for my team, I want them to approach it that way. I need them to be licensed in order to offer that. But we do have wholesalers that go out and they basically say, I'll give you this much money, but our team will list it for you, blah, blah, blah. So we will take wholesalers that can work on the team. We want agents work on the team, of course, because if you're an agent right now, there's a lot of business right now, some retail business right now for agents, but we may find that slows down, or why not add all this off market stuff to your the off market, and sometimes in some markets, it's like 90% of the business. So why not go after those deals? And right now, like I said, there's a lot of retail business going on. Don't get me wrong, a lot of buyers, a lot of sellers, a lot of movement. And a lot of people moving into Atlanta still every month. So Atlanta's a real strong market. I'm not worried about the Atlanta market, but we are going to be worried about specific sellers that are going to be in trouble. And as we know from last time, there's like bailouts and programs that help certain people, but then certain people, nothing. There's nothing for them. And those are your people. Those are my target people, the ones everybody else is forgetting about. I'm going to go knock on their door and say, hey, I see the government didn't make a plan for you, to be able to get your home. So let me help you sell it and get that equity. I'm going to make a fair amount for myself, and help them do that. And I'm going to make a lot of money doing it. And we already are. So, we know it's going to work. And like I say, I'm not a soothsayer. I don't know exactly what's going to happen in the market, but I do know we've got a lot of nervous sellers calling us and people that need our help, and I know how to help them. And that's the point. So, if you know how to help people, I don't think you should worry about the other competition, what's going on with the market. There's always going to be a market. It's just how do you serve? So anyone that's in this business, all they have to do is educate themselves about the market that we're in and have just more exit strategies and more ways of helping a seller get rid of a property. And you're always going to profit. You're always going to be able to do business. I guarantee you, I can always do business.
Great stuff. Great stuff. And by the way, we have somebody watching, and I can't see their name because they didn't click on that link to tell us who they are. But they says, hello, Angie, you got me my B&B house in Hateville a couple years ago. Good to see you. And I can't see who that is.
House, Airbnb. Is it Mike? Michael?
I don't know. I can't see.
Yeah.
I can't see their name because I think they're on the business page. That's probably why.
Okay.
But
great. Hope he's making a bunch of money with it.
Yeah. Then we have William. Mr. Flemister says hello. He says good afternoon, family. And I get. Oh, it's Michael Parks. Yeah, Michael Parks. Okay. Michael, click on that link so we can see your name, man. Yeah, it was Michael Parks. And then we have, let's see, who's this? Another Facebook user says, "Hey, gorgeous." I can't see their names because they don't click on that link so we can see who they are. But anyway, good stuff though. Good stuff. Salute to Michael Parks. He's actually making some moves in the business as well. So one of the other things,
easy to work with. And see, that's all you have to do. Be easy to work with. I said he was easy to work with.
Yes. And he does what he says he's going to do. He's definitely serious about making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People that keep it real. Love him.
Definitely. So we basically do, deals the same way. So we basically have a different kind of, we have the same formula that most of us use. And of course, you being the real deal when it comes to deal structure. What makes you different about structuring deals? What do you do differently?
Well, I think partly what I just mentioned before. I don't approach a deal thinking that I'm a one-trick pony, that I'm going to go and I'm going to analyze this deal based on a wholesale flip, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not wanting to look and say, okay, this is how much the ARV is, minus repairs, minus holding costs, minus what I want to make is my max offer. No, I mean, that's one of the things we're going to analyze. But then I'm also going to look at the rent market and see, what is the house going to rent for? Can I sell it to a rent investor instead? And you're also going to look, what if there's no meat on the bone and you can't sell it to either, but someone could do it subject to or take over, right? Or even lease it from that seller and then rent it out, Airbnb or some other strategy. And what makes me different is it really is, I've just been doing it a long time, and then in different markets. And so like certain strategies worked in the late 80s. I mean, interest rates were like 13% then. So, you weren't really trying to get subject twos in the late 80s. So each market that we go through presents different challenges, obstacles, therefore opportunities. And then when you learn another strategy and you put that in your belt, I honestly just think what makes me different is how many I have in my tool belt. And because I just never give up, because that's the point, is I don't think of that one strategy or two or three or 10. I try to brainstorm. The way when you have masterminding and stuff, and we're like brainstorming, that's how I approach every single deal. I don't automatically think I know what formula should work with this house, because I'm wrong. I was wrong on one in Lawrenceville a few weeks ago. I went out and I looked at the house, and I thought, I'm just going to keep this house and I'm going to rehab it and we're going to flip it. Because the seller will sell it to me. The seller will sell it to me and allow me like the owner finance deal for a couple of months. I'll come in, slam it, pause, guys. We'd be done in 10 days to 2 weeks. And I thought that would be the play, because when you're shooting from the hip, that's what you do. Right. But you always go back and do the math. You always crunch your numbers and always crunch your brain for these people. Each deal. And so I roll through these files of what about this? What about that? What about this? And I try to think of just 100 ways to sell a house. That's what I think makes me different. It's just, I don't want to give up. If you have a house and you say you want to sell it, I don't care if it, I mean, at some point you got to just shoot your shot and tell the person, this is the offer I'm going to make and this is what I can do for you, and leave. But when I shoot that shot or give them 3 to 5 options, believe me, I have really worked it over in my mind. And I have a lot of files in my mind of this way, no, that way. And and new stuff comes to you sometimes because of that. Because if you really try and work that muscle and you're working your brain for someone and thinking for them, and that's the point, is I'm always thinking for them. Maybe that's what's different. I'm not thinking for me and how am I going to structure this deal so that I make the most money or I have the quick exit. I listened to what that seller said that they wanted to get out of this transaction. And then sometimes even what they tell you that they want, when you actually hear their story, you realize that there's actually something else would be better suited for them, and you can present that because people don't know if they were experts, they would be able to sell their house without your help, right? But I'm going to listen to what their motivation is and what their need is. And I really, really am then going to try to fill their need instead of mine. And in doing so, it's going to be, I'm going to get paid. But that's going to make me successful, I think, is just that I really do have maybe their goals in mind.
And
I think people read that and know that, I mean, I do think I'm the real deal for a reason. I do think besides being blunt and, I'll curse you out if I think you're doing something that's going to hurt my client, me, my investor, my child, my family. But, besides that, I mean, I do try to keep it real and be really, really present and for the client, for the seller.
Yeah. Great stuff. And that's absolutely amazing. And I got to say, many people that look at what we do as investors, especially people that come in from a wholesale perspective, most of the way that they look at wholesaling is a one-trick pony type of way of doing it, and being open to the possibility of putting together a deal or structuring a deal that makes it work for everybody involved in the transaction is often where a lot of people lose the business side of it, right? Because for what we do, we understand that we're providing a service, right? And those of us that have been doing this for some time, understand that it's a service that we provide. And even the people that we're looking at as motivated sellers, we'll call them, are still people, right? And we're still helping them provide a service. We're providing a service to help them in a situation that they may be faced with, right? So it's definitely necessary for us to look at multiple ways to look at helping them out of whatever situation they're in. So, it's absolutely amazing that, I mean, it is something that I know that you understand, but many people won't look at. We have this formula. We're locked into this ARV minus repairs, equals our Mayo and all this, this, that, and the other. And then some people will drop the ball right after that. If it doesn't fit, they won't go any further.
They shoot their shot with that formula and go, oh, wow, this one wasn't a deal. I'm going to move on.
Right.
And that's not true. Maybe it wasn't. And, I have one slide in particular that I really like to use whenever I do the exit strategies training or deal structure. And it's the one that discusses that there's a question, is this house a deal if there's no equity or negative equity, right? And sometimes they are. Like for a subject to, if the cash flow is right, it's absolutely a deal. And so, people are only looking at equity. Like that's the thing. Too many times people that are wholesalers or agents, or I don't want to say we're all one-trick ponies, but don't get in the box. The agent shouldn't get in that box of we're going to list, we're going to sit here passively, then wait, or we're going to market it, and we're going to wait for a buyer, and then we're going to sell, and we're going to go through all these steps to get the closing that scares the shit out of sellers. Something can go wrong.
That's right.
Or then, you got these wholesalers that go in there and they just shoot their shot, man. They learn that one formula, and I mean, God love them, for being hustlers. I mean, I'm saying I'll take those guys. Look, you guys that are out here and you're in the street and you're doing that. I mean, but if you're in the street and you're shooting your shot and you're just hustling, trying to get deals, stop doing that. Call me 404-488-2547. 404-488-2547. I will teach you how to channel that energy and channel your hustle the right way so that you go and get the right leads from the right people, and you don't then just miss out on these deals because you know how to hustle, but you just don't know how to bring them home. And that's the thing. We have a big spoon. So, John Stafford's Everybody Eats, we definitely live by Everybody Eats. I mean, like I say, our team, we have a strong, small team. We are all hustlers, just killers. And we want anyone, if somebody hasn't even done their first deal, I may take them on. Someone that's done 50, I may say, nah, another brokerage is better for you, because we only, like I say, we want people on our team that match our energy. It's not even saying that an agent may not be, like an agent may be a great agent and it may be someone that I want to do business with, but I may not want them on our team because our energy, we just have a certain energy and a certain flow. And it is, we don't like negativity. We don't even allow negativity in the building, in the room, and life is what it is.
Right.
And things like this pandemic, it is what it is. And there's bad things that happen because of this pandemic, and we can make it worse with our attitude and our and what we do, our panic, or our picking up the pieces and moving on. And so that's the way our team operates. Is we're looking at this pandemic and we are trying to figure out ways to work around whatever challenges it presents, but nobody gets to be a crybaby on my team.
Real stuff.
No. If you want to hear my life story, you can take me to the bar and we can have a couple of drinks and I can tell you about the shit that I've been through, and then you tell me whether you think that you should cry baby to me about whatever, right? Just shut up and go out there and make it happen, or get out of this business because it's not for you.
That's
and that's
real.
just how I feel.
That's absolutely real. That's absolutely. I found out who that was that said, "Hey, gorgeous." It is the fabulous Miss Jennifer Butler.
My girl.
Jennifer, where are you? Where are you, Jennifer? I've been looking for you. It's time to get you back on as well. So definitely great stuff.
Look, you know how you want. Okay, ask Jennifer what she's doing right. She's not going to tell you, but I mean, she's not going to be online and telling you what she's doing day to day. But I can promise you, her and Will are making some moves, because there's moves out here to be made. And that's, like I say, it may not be my team, but I suggest the people that are out here that want to make money doing what we do, now really is the time to collaborate, and now is the time to be a team. There's just so much business that's about to be out here. It's going to be just a firestorm of business, and these young guys that have the hustle and the want, they're going to get gobbled up, and they're going to make us look bad. Let's face it, they're going to make us look bad. So, I'm suggesting that if you haven't done 20 deals, you need to join a team. Join a team. I'll tell you one thing: if you haven't done 20 deals, you join my team, and you'll do 20 deals before the end of the year. I mean, we're about to blow it out. So, and I don't know, like other brokerages, we'll go back to that. Our team, we focus on deals, not posting on Facebook. We don't have time for that. We don't have time for flashy. Oh, Paul's flashy. He likes to take his big $20,000 and referral fees and say your referral money's calling, come get it. And, but he's flashy, but I don't do flashy.
Yeah,
so
Paul,
the thing
Paul
is,
Paul says 2024 quarter coming strong.
yeah. That's my boy Leland.
Paul, yes, that's Paul.
Oh, Paul, yeah, he's a beast, and that's what I'm saying. If you can't handle Paul, then you can't be on our team, because he's going to run you over. I mean, he's wide open all the time.
Definitely.
He calls me 11 o'clock at night. Guess what I thought of? And, that's what I love. But at 11 o'clock at night, I'm answering the phone. At 11 o'clock at night, I'm talking to Melanie Mallory, one of our new team members. She's fantastic. She's an agent. She's going to be a beast. And we're discussing deal structure and a deal. And I think it was about 11 p.m. And, you have to love this game to be on the phone coaching someone at 11 p.m. But I'm going to tell you something. If I'm going to be on the phone with you at 11 p.m., I know it's because you're going to produce some money for me, and we're going to do some deals together. It's not because you're going to waste my time. And that's what I mean. I want real people on my team. And, if they come on our team, we have leads, that we pay for all this already. We have to have a lot of leads coming in to then work them to end up with a lot of appointments. And so basically my goal is this. My goal is to only go on appointments, and to coach my people about deal structure or problems that they have. I'm not the broker. There's a broker that can answer all those legal questions and dot I's and cross T's, because that is very boring. I'm the team leader. So if you want to talk about deals, you call me. And we have everything in-house. We have construction people house. We have people that lend. So, I mean, we have everything that you could possibly need as a wholesaler or agent. And the fees are the least in the business. Because let's face it, the only thing we care about as an agent, where we're going to be at a broker, if you know what you're doing, like really for me, when I was at Keller Williams, it was ridiculous to pay $18,000 a year because they didn't do anything for me. I needed access to FMLS. I needed my O&I insurance. And I mean, just let me go. I'm not going to do anything, to get me in trouble, but I didn't need anything else. I didn't want to pay for anything else. And nobody does. So, our fees are $129 a month and you pay $600 for every closing. There's no cap. There's 12,000 cap, but there's no split. It's just, you pay your $600 and go. But that's not, I don't care about the fees that you're paying to the broker and that money that you pay to the broker. I care about you and I partnering on deals, right? And you coming on board my team and us going out there and JVing on a bunch of deals. And we have a bunch of leads and I can teach you how to work them and I can teach you how to find them even. And then I can even teach you how to close them. We're going to go on appointments. Like I say, that's all I want to do from here on out is just go on appointments with my team and teach them how to close. Because look, you got to be able to walk a house with all this technology. That's great. But if you've got to be able to do a rehab budget in your mind in 5 minutes flat, like our team has to learn where we have like 14 houses right now that are being worked on, and we're taking our team out. And anybody that's watching this that wants to join, contact me. They're all in varying stages, right, of rehab. So we're taking our team out for number one to teach them the scope of work. Because unless you know what you're supposed to do the house, what the hell difference does it make for you to know how much it costs, right? So we teach scope of work and then the price. And we make our people be beast because that's, in my opinion, what makes people so scared, like to go out and do appointments. People that are like new, that are hustlers and will be great at it. They're just scared, like putting the number on something. But there's a real fast and easy way to teach you how to just add up a rehab number in 5 minutes. I mean, I'm telling you, one day with me and you can do a rehab budget. One day with Paul, an hour with Paul, and you can do a rehab budget.
Great
stuff. So we really, really focus on that. And then I want to focus on the actual appointment itself and closing. Because let's face it, the art of the close. Rapport. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care about your numbers. I don't care about your team that you've got that can rehab this house, your bankers. I don't give a shit. If you can't sit down one-on-one with someone that's hurting and needing to sell their property and be a human being and care for them in this transaction, then you're not going to win as many as I am. And I'm just telling you, that's why I'm not worried about the competition. I'll tell you everything we do. You can come in our office. I'll show you A to Z how we do deals. I'm not worried. But I'd like for you to come in and show you how you do A to Z deals and you do them with me.
Great
and
stuff.
That's what I'm working on. Is I want a team. I want people to collaborate with and work with. We've all been alone and cooped up, and
So long.
I want to get let loose out here on these sellers, and I want to show some people. I mean, I'm 55. I can't be out here in the streets forever.
Right.
I want to build a team of some people that are loyal to me and that want to do this for a long time. And the right people will find me, and I'll find the right people. And if you're the right people, you need to contact us. This is real stuff. Real deal.
You mentioned you're a team leader. What does a team leader do? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, okay, so really, for a team leader, like I said, I'm not the broker. I'm not a broker. I'm a licensed agent and wholesaler. I'm team leader because I'm going to lead our team in that I don't want anyone. A leader gets you across the goal, right? Your coach or whatever gets you to score, gets you to win. So my job is to get any agent or any wholesaler, anyone that JVs with us, to the win. And that means anything that stops them along the way. Number one is motivation. This business, as you know, will grind you up and spit you out. And so my number one job, I feel like, is keeping our people motivated, because you really, really do have to keep yourself motivated. And that's why I talked about that positive attitude, that we don't allow negativity, because you have to stay motivated. So number one, I motivate. But number two, I teach and coach. That's the point. Some people are further along than others. So each agent gets like one-on-one with me based on whatever deal they're working or wherever they're at. Like agents that are now learning wholesale, that's where I have to start with them and lead them then to learn how to do wholesale. Well, there's people that are wholesalers that are coming in and they're now getting licensed. And so I have to lead them, in a different way. So each person, I'm trying to focus on just doing deals with that person, because if they're doing deals, they're learning.
Got it. Okay.
I don't care about a classroom. CE credits. I mean, we have to have it. But what I'm talking about is how do you go out here and pay your bills next week? I want my team to be in here today learning something or hopefully getting a deal this week that's going to help pay their bills next week. Now, along the way, that's when we run into obstacles. They're going to learn because that's how you learn when you do a deal. Stuff comes up. Ronnie Hargrove, I don't know if he's watching, but oh my God. So Ronnie's got a contract right now. He's got a couple. But his deal was pretty funny, and he's got a very difficult seller, and I'm telling you, he's learning a lot. And I don't know if we'll ever end up closing this deal out or not, but I'm going to tell you, Ronnie Hargrove is going to be a beast because how he handles these obstacles and this. It's one of those sellers that they want too much for their house. You're going to try to shop it for them, but the minute they sign the contract with you, and they want to know why you're not giving this big bunch of money, earnest money, right? So you could take a chance to sell their property, and they're calling them it's one of those sellers. It's hilarious. I mean, it's kind of hilarious, but I love him. Ronnie is. But he calls me and he asks me the right questions, so I know he's going to do a lot of deals because he's paying attention to the right things, And he's trying. I give him leads, he works them. And that's how you learn. So it's interesting. I love our little team. I want our team to grow. I'd like a few more people like him, like Melanie. I want a few more killers like Robert Yancey that they don't need any coaching. All they need is the cheapest fees in town, and then someone to JV with. Because my goal is to sell him every house that he needs. Why not? Why not have my team and my agents and my wholesalers providing Robert with every house he does? And my other investors. Why not? And so that's the leads that we work. I give my team leads that I pull from my buyers, and then I have them work them, and I oversee it. And so, I'm telling you, our people are learning and they're growing. They're killing it. They're killing it.
Great stuff. I need some of those deals too. I need some of those deals.
I know, but we really do have to do better at sending more deals out. We have a few preferred buyers, and they get everything. I'm not gonna lie, that is a little bit of a problem. So we need more deals, Yeah. That's what we need. Rolf is texting me right now telling me to send him the Smyrna deal. Oh my God. So yeah, I got one to Smyrna, and he's gonna have to get it because he makes life easy.
Right.
You give him a good number, he's gonna buy the house, and that's it. I send him the number. He sends the contract. He sends a contract usually sometimes before he ever sees the house, and then he'll go in and see the house. That's a formality, and we close. So that's what you're looking for, buyers like that. There's a lot of people out here talking, saying they're buying, and they're not buying. Find you some real buyers.
Yeah. No, I get it. I had put a pause on my buying in Atlanta. That's a whole nother story. We'll talk about that later. But but I'm actually looking for some stuff in Atlanta now. So we definitely need to get back to having that conversation.
Yeah, all you have to do is send me your criteria. Our leads guy is the best guy. His name is Leland. And you guys, you can pay him. And that's the thing. We want to partner with as much or as little as you want to partner with. If you just want to JV with us on one apartment deal, hey, we're good with that. But, your energy, like I say, we want to work with good people. So we're careful about who we work with. But we have he wrote a book about lead generation, right? Leland did. And so I don't run my own leads, and I know how to do leads. Leland's going to run my leads. He runs them, he vets them, he skip traces them for me. And I know then once I get my list and I'm ready to work those leads, a lot of the busy work and a lot of the time consuming stuff has been taken out of it. It's boiled down to now these are people I really want to call. Right. Yeah. And so, and that's what we're doing. And we hand those to our team now. Instead of me taking those leads, I give those off to my team members so that they have leads. Because that's the thing, really, as a broker, that's what I wanted. Right. I wanted them to give me some way of making money. When I was working at Keller Williams and virtual, I wanted a way to help me make money.
Real stuff.
And I didn't get that. But I'm not crying. I'm not gonna be a crybaby. I just went out and did it myself the way wholesalers do. We go out and we aggressively look for a lead and look for a deal. And that's what a lot of agents don't do. Agents reach out to their circle of influence, and they it's a lot more passive. We market, and we're passive. Wholesalers are not passive. We're very aggressive. We go out and we create that. Do we find the motivated seller? And that's basically really just the nuts and bolts of what I'm teaching my team is, hey, don't sit around and wait for a deal. Go out there and find one, and here's how you do that. And if you'll go out and find one in this particular area and this particular shape and this particular construction, I've got a buyer sitting here, and that's what we're doing. And it's just a lot more successful than, I don't know. Rather than take a whole bunch of darts and just throw them at a wall and hope something sticks. I like to be laser focused on with my time, because I work a lot, but I'm gonna tell you something. I'm off a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
I have the flexibility, and I've had a lot of medical issues with my mother, got issues with my daughter, and there are times that I have to be off, and life isn't about buying another house. So when I have to be off, I'm off and I shut it down. And that's one reason why I'd also like, I like working with a team and collaborating, because it's nice when someone has your back. And when you work so hard for something, it doesn't fall apart because of some family emergency. We've got each other.
Real stuff.
A couple years ago, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to brag on John Stafford too. I had some stuff going on. You know that you may be at a weak moment or something's going on, because we're vultures. These guys are killers.
Real stuff.
So I told John, hey man, if I get any leads, I'm just going to send them to you. I ended only getting a few, during that week, but and he was like, I got you, and that's a great thing to know that you've got a friend or a partner out here that you can call on, and you can really, you can take a knee sometimes, and not everybody out here is that type of person, but those of us that are, we find each other, right?
Absolutely. Great stuff. Joe Knox asked the question, how do I join the team?
How does he join the team? Great. Call me or text me at 404-488-2547. It's 404-488-2547. I'd love to discuss it with you.
Great stuff.
And don't be scared. We're not going to run you over. I was just kidding.
What's the number again?
We are going to run you over, but you're going to love it.
What was the number again, Angela?
It's 404-488-2547.
447. We'll make sure we put that up.
Yeah, my volume seems low.
Okay. No, you're good. I just wanted to make sure we put it on the screen so folks can get a chance to see it. Yeah. Okay. So who can join the team? I know you're looking for, and you did give an idea of the folks that you're looking for. So who is there any more specifics in the person that you're looking for, or persons that you're looking for that can join the team?
Yes, we're really looking for people. I'm going to say deal finders or wholesalers that are new enough to need some help, but not like this was your first deal. They're probably not for us. Right. But we're looking for people that, let's say, they're out there and they're trying it and they're sticking with it and they're searching for deals and they're looking for needs, but they just don't quite have their buyers list, or they can't find the sellers, or they can't quite close the seller when they get the appointment because they don't really know what to say, or they don't know the rehab budget, or once they've got that down, they just can't see. They get contracts and they can't seem to place them. And they're thinking, well, am I always signing these up too? Some obstacle is keeping you from really winning. Like maybe you're closing a few, but you could close more. That's who we're looking for, because I feel like with some fine tuning, I want someone that's already got some skin in the game, though. I want you out here getting bloodied and trying. Because if you're just the first day and you've listened to all the hype about, oh, you can make all this money in real estate, and you think that this is going to be some pie in the sky that you're just going to show up and then money's just going to fall in your lap, I don't really want that person. I want them to go ahead and have their bubble burst first, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. You want them to experience real life real estate investment.
Yeah. Get you some real life, right? And then call me, right? Because now if you've scuffed your knees up out here and you realize, hey, it's not as easy as they say. Yeah. But you already know you like this game. You've been bitten by the bug. You want to go out here and do deals, but they're just not quite falling together for you. Trust me, if you come on my team, they're going to start falling together for you, right? Yeah. Like you're going to start getting those contracts. We're going to start closing them, and we're going to start closing them to the end buyer. So, and I'm probably going to talk you into becoming an agent, because, like I say, I really want to work with agents, because my strategy and my pitch offers all the strategies that for on and off market, and there's power in that. I'm just telling you, there's power. There's not power in you walking into someone's house and saying, I'll offer you blank number cash, or my partner over here will come list it for you. It's power in me going in and sitting down and saying, ma'am, whatever you need, tell me your story, tell me what's going on, what you need to get, when you need to get it, how, what is it that you're needing, so I can figure out, because I can do it like this or like that or like this. So let's just have a conversation about, what you need, and then let me figure out if I have a way, because I think I do, that can fill that need. There's power in that. There's not power in I'll refer you to someone else.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do anything with vacant lots at all?
Yes. Okay. So look, every wholesaler out there that I know overlooks vacant lots. If you're looking for a crappy house that's falling apart, but the area is so good and transitioning, or that the flip money is so good that there's rehabbers in there flipping these houses, why in the hell wouldn't then an empty lot be worth buying? Because any builder or any developer will tell you it's a whole lot easier, well, except for time, like in Atlanta with permits. But it's so much easier to build from the ground up than to go after and trying to retrofit and fix things that are trashed and are broken. It's just a lot harder. So if that neighborhood warrants it, if the price per square foot warrants rehabs, if you're looking around and you see a lot of dumpsters in the area, a lot of rehabs going on, you better damn well believe that an empty lot sitting there is also worth buying. Definitely. So yeah, we do lots. We do empty lots. We have a lot of apartments. We have a bunch of multis, and I mean with really good cap rates. So all you multi-buyers, or all you wholesalers that have multi-buyers, and you think, I've got multi-buyers, but I really don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what to ask for. I don't even know what a rent roll means. Right. Call me. You call me, and we will talk, and we will get with your buyer. We will get, if that buyer is a real buyer and they want one of our properties or something, you're going to get paid. You don't need to miss a deal because you don't know. And then when you're in the room, listen. The next deal, maybe you don't need me. So that's what we're looking for, because we have a lot of multis, and we have. You know who Rod Khalifa is, right?
Rod Khalifa,
the big multi guy.
I don't know if
I've heard. So look, we spend a lot of money. I guess I shouldn't have said how much. We spend a lot of money on just multi leads, right? We have like 5,000 multi leads working right now. I mean, just multis, it's a lot of money a month. So if there's someone out there and they have multi buyers, like I said, they're interested in doing that, why not come make money? Why not come and learn the real deal, how to make it? And I mean, one multi deal is a pretty good check, man. I mean, you can do a lot of wholesale deals and sell one apartment, and it's nice.
Do you do anything outside of Georgia at all, or is Georgia just?
Yes, we do. The multis are all over the country.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Good stuff.
And we also do. I do some in a little bit in Alabama, but in the North Carolina, because I do a lot in the North Georgia mountains, and then on up into the Carolinas. So North Carolina, South Carolina, a little past Augusta, and then because we do buy in Augusta, we have people that buy in Macon. So like. That's an easy spot for wholesalers. Macon is still got just a lot of pickings down there, and there's just a whole bunch of meat on the bone. So almost every house. So Macon's a good area for me. Augusta's a good area for me for real low end stuff. I have buyers that buy brick mainly, but buy and holds. And then all over Atlanta, we have from like buyers that buy from 20 up. We have buyers that only buy like under $200,000, all in ARV. I mean, we literally have a buyer for almost every scenario. So if any area that you want to work, if you're in Stone Mountain, don't worry, I can put you to work in Stone Mountain, and you find deals there that I have buyers for. If you live in Cumming, I can put you to work in Cumming, and you find deals for me there. I have buyers for that. So it doesn't matter where you are or what area you want to work. Believe me, I have a buyer for it.
Great.
My team does.
Great stuff. Paul put a message, said that most investors don't know that he can build. Let me just see what that was again. He can build a house starting at 95 a square foot turnkey.
Correct. Exactly. Okay. Yeah, Paul can build for 95 a foot.
Wow. So you have to come on the show. It's time for you to tell us about some of the stuff you can do and some of what you got going on.
Yeah. Well, look. Okay. So. Anyone that's watching this or listening to this that wants to come, like I said, we're going to be having some walkthroughs from some of his rehabs, right? And that's when we're going to be working on budgets and scope of work. But they really do need to, then you'll see basically because 95 a foot is a house. It's not the high-end houses that you're going to see you know, there's varying degrees of construction, and that's another thing that people need to understand. If you're flipping a house over in Stone Mountain or in Decatur that's like the backside of 3034, you know, it's a different house than if you're doing a rental in another part of, you know, Sandy Springs. So we talk to our people about like A, B, and C grade, and Paul basically shows them, this is an A grade, here's a B grade, here's a C, you know, here's the top of the line, here's what I can do for 95 a foot. And I mean, when you see it, you know, we're visual people, and you know, when someone can see that and go, okay, and you give them those quick fives, you know, when you walk in and go 5 for this, and when people you see people actually starting to get confident with knowing a number. I mean, I've done it 100 times with people that I work with. That you, I mean, just experience is the best thing. So when you walk a house and you see how much that costs, you hear how much, you know, somebody tells you this is how much that costs, and you watch it, and then you go to another house and you go, ooh, yeah, it needs all that. That's about $5,000. It automatically is an image that just flashes in your mind because you've actually, it's a visual, right? So we really want to visually teach people about rehab budgets.
Great.
Because you don't want to be the numbers on the paper, right? And you're on the paper and you're figuring it out, because you're going to forget that when you go walk in front of Mr. Seller or Miss Seller and you get a little nervous. But you're not going to forget when you were looking at the, you know, that house completely ripped apart or how much. And it's also going to make you feel a little bit stronger with like closing that client when they say, oh, this house only needs blank amount of money, yada yada. You can say, oh no, ma'am. No, my partner is a builder. Our rehabs, we have 14 going right now, and that is not $10,000. Right. That wall is $10,000. We're talking 40 for all like, you know what I'm saying? It makes you stronger in your negotiating, therefore stronger in your closing skills, because you do know what you're talking about. Absolutely. And there's nothing like confidence for, in my opinion, a seller is going to sell to whomever they feel comfortable with.
Right.
And I mean, the number does factor in there, but we know from studies that they sell to us because they like us, they feel comfortable with us, they trust us, not the number. I know I've done multiple deals that I offered less than someone else, and they chose me. So I've heard it from the seller's mouth. So, you know, the best thing you can do for yourself then is go in and be comfortable and be confident and be compassionate, right? It's the C's. You got to be compassionate. But when I go in, I know what I'm talking about. So when I go in and I'm being friendly and gentle, I'm not aggressive with buyers and sellers, by the way. I am in my business, but when you get in front of a buyer or seller, you know, you got to slow it down, and I'm going to be compassionate. I'm going to listen to what they have to say. I'm going to try to offer things that fit their needs, and that reads. They know it. So my people on my team, I want to make you a beast. I want to take you on every appointment and take you on every house we're rehabbing until you feel really comfortable and really, really confident that you can just breeze in. And it's like a second conversation going on in my mind. The numbers just come naturally because I want to be present with that conversation with that seller, because that's what gets me my contract. So if I'm distracted by adding up numbers in my mind, I may miss that contract. So I really try to teach people rapport. And Paul's going to teach you numbers. And you're going to be good at both because you need both. But we're going to whip you into shape. And if you can't, you know, show up and work like we do, I'm 55 years old. And I mean, if I ask everybody that's 20 years young, I mean, nobody keeps up with me and on our team. So you got to be able to keep up. I'm going to tell you that.
I got to schedule an appointment. I need to come and check out that operation. When are you?
Oh, you'll love it, Glenn.
When are you doing the walkthroughs? When can we tell the folks when that's happening?
Well, we're going to do it next week. We wanted to wait for the holiday and this podcast, actually, because, you know, I thought there may be a possibility that with the holiday, we wouldn't have a lot of, like, you know, people tuning in. So kind of wanted to put it out there a little bit more over the rest of this week and the weekend. But we're going to do it next week. And it's probably Tuesday and maybe Wednesday. But anyone that's interested can call me or text me, or also even email at dealsforrealdeal@gmail.com. That's dealsforrealdeal@gmail.com. Anyone that wants to email or text, I'll make sure they get the invitation, because we're also going to I'll have a little discussion. Let's say if someone calls and says, hey, I want to do the walkthrough. I'd like to talk to you more about, you know, the brokerage. I'm actually making this be groups based on your knowledge of rehab budgets now, because there's people that have already been out in the field and they're a little further along than some, and then some people are at 0 at 1. And we're going to take you if you're at 0 1. No problem. I'll show you, because you may be a hustler and a diamond in the rough. Never, ever, ever. I never underestimate. Don't think that I'm going to say you can't be on our team because I'm saying we're all hustlers and killers. I'm just saying if you come on my team, I'm going to expect production within a couple of months, or else you're going to go to B team, which is in Villa Rica. So I'm not saying you can't stay. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, you know, if you want to be with me, you're going to be making me some money. Point blank. Let's just
give me that email address again.
So, what?
That email address is deals. What was it again?
Yeah, deals for the number 4, numeric deals for real deal at gmail.com.
Okay. All right. We'll get that up.
But yeah, it's going to be next Wednesday, around Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay. And it's kind of going to depend on Paul's schedule, because he's the one that, this is kind of his show. He's a beast. I mean, I think, honestly, I tell everyone that comes to talk, I'm like, I think you should join for me, and that's not being kind. I think you should join just to be partner with me. I believe, because I mean, I have to believe in myself and my abilities, right? So I think it's worth joining our team to be beside me and working. I know it's worth joining our team to be beside Paul, because I mean, I can work with any contractor in the city, but that guy is a killer. He's a killer, but he's fun. He's happy. He's a joyful. He's always smiling, even when he's bitching about when we have shit go wrong. Sorry, I cuss a lot. I tell people that I cuss a lot. But I love Jesus.
You're the real deal,
you know. But Paul, he's just you know, his energy. Besides the fact that he has the best contractors in the business, the subcontractors, and he's just on top of it. But besides that, he's fun energy to be around, and we are all about, like I say, our energy, and you know, we lift each other up. And it's a hard business. We work a lot of hours, so I got to be around somebody that makes me laugh and it's fun. And like I say, I think it's worth being on our team for me. I know it's worth being on our team for Paul. I know it's worth being on our team for Leland. I don't know if you guys that know Leland, our lead generation. I mean, we have an in-house lead generation guru. He is badass. Craig, we got Craig full circle. And I'm going to tell you something. Greg is this beast in the streets. I mean, I don't know. I might could have took him when I was 30, but I don't think I could take Craig today. I think he toe to toe. He's going to take me on a day to day out in the field. I love him, and you know, you're going to learn field like work from him and from myself. So I mean, we have a beast of a team, just beast.
Great stuff. Great stuff. So, listen, you share some awesome stuff with us today, Angela, and you know, I know you're 100%. Where'd you go?
I'm sorry, I can't. My volume is really low.
Oh, okay. I was like, what happened?
Sorry.
So you try to hear me, okay?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to share with the folks before we get off? I mean, you've covered like some amazing stuff, you know, especially from the deal structuring standpoint. I want to make sure people are honed in on what you shared about not being a one-trick pony when it comes to a wholesale transaction, and looking at multiple ways or multiple exit strategies as it relates to getting into a deal and possibly getting out of a deal. And at the end of the day, understanding that we're customer service professionals before anything else in what we do in this business. And I want to thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else you want to leave the folks with before we get off today?
No, just thank you for your time. I hope everyone's being safe. You know, we all want to get out here and make money, but you know, you got to be safe. You got to protect yourselves. We're living in some crazy times, and people are really, really stressed. And so I still suggest doing everything in teams. Like if you're going to go out and see somebody or door knock or whatever, you know, do that in teams. I do want to mention that. Please be safe out here. And that's what I do want to mention. Just one other thing that I am going to have coming up. We've had it on hold for about a month or so now, just because, you know, we can't get groups of people together. But I am going to be having I'm starting a networking group for, first it was going to be for women, but I think we maybe should like include the guys. But I wanted to have a firearms or not just firearms, but self-protection training. We're basically going to have a networking group that meets monthly, but the focus will, instead of being like deals or networking, whatever, it's going to be on self-protection and safety. So, and especially, you know, as it refers to for real estate agents, right? We're going to look at houses, we're meeting strangers, things like that. But so several months of the year we'll be at a shooting range, because, you know, in order to carry a firearm, I carry a firearm. I don't know if you do. I suggest it, but, you know, it's up to each individual person. But if you have a firearm, if you want to come to the safety courses, we are going to have those. There are going to be firearms training, about half of the classes. They're going to be fantastic. We have several people that's already volunteered. We have a lot of people that are interested in coming. We just have to have it on hold because of COVID. But I do encourage everybody to stay in touch with me on that, because I'm very excited about that. Because it really doesn't matter what money we make and put in the bank if we lose our life out here or a loved one. I mean, none of it was worth it. So, everybody just be safe out there. Appreciate your time today. Real deal. Love you guys. Love you, Glenn.
Angela, listen, I love you. Thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for sharing your time with us today, sharing your knowledge and your expertise with us. I appreciate you. We're definitely going to talk, because I got some things that I want to be sharing with you as well, you and your team. And I want to see if we can get, possibly some of my students, get them involved in the walkthroughs and things that you do. We do something that we call Field Day Fridays, where I take them out in the field, where we look at deals. But they just see it from my perspective. So I want to be able to have someone else with the same level of expertise as you guys have, to be able to share that with them as well. So we may look at some collaboration on that, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, that would be fantastic. Okay. I mean, I learned from you. That we learn. That's the only keep. I mean, I learn from everyone in this game. Learn a lot from Paul. Learn a lot from people I sell to and buy from. So we need to collaborate because the season is here. So all vibe higher and collaborate. That's the word of the month.
Absolutely. All right, listen. All right, this has been the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show. I had the privilege and the opportunity to hang out with my real deal sister, Angela Davenport, for today. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week. And as always, this is the Real Life Real Estate Investing Show, where we talk about real life real estate situations, but we certainly bring you real life real estate solutions. Look forward to talking to you all real soon.